Welcome back. Now we are going to talk about the maps iterations here. So let's continue learning about maps. In the last video we created an empty map, right? Then edit elements by using the set method. Remember how? So this is actually where another way of populating a new map. So without having to use the set method, I prefer to use the cucumbers in a bit some other way where there is a lot of values to set. So instead we are going to create a new map like this one. I'm going to call this one because we are now implementing something like a quiz in a very simple way. So a new map, then of course we can pass in an array, and this array itself will contain multiple value arrays. So in each of these arrays, the first position is going to be the key and the second position is going to be the value. So let's do that. So after writing this code, I'll explain you what we are writing it. So bear with me here. So constant, here we are creating the quiz, right? So for that question, it equals to new map. We are going to need it here. What is the best programming language? Let's say here Java. JavaScript. So here correct 3. So that looks correct. Fantastic. So we are creating a new map from scratch directly to the code. So I prefer this way of writing it over the way we did in the previous lecture. But when we keep adding new elements programmatically using code, then of course the set method is still the way to go. Now as on this kind of structure here, so the this arrays of arrays look kind similar to you. Well, I hope it does, because exactly this is the same array structure that is returning from calling object dot entries. For example, let me just show you here. Console.log object dot entries of opening hours. So as you see that there are two. So we get an array of arrays where the, so as you can see, where the first element is the key and the second one is the value, as you can see here. So what this means is that there is an easy way to convert from objects to maps. So let's write that here. See here, it was converted into the map. So you see that. So from this, we are converting this into the map. Okay. So let me just go ahead and turn this off. This structure is that result from the object dot entries. So as you can see here, this structure is result from the object dot entries, that is exactly same as this. So an array of arrays indeed. Now we have a map here, and so keep this small trick here in mind whenever you need a map when you already have an object. Next up, let's talk about iteration. And iteration is possible on maps because, as we already know, maps are also iterables, and so for loop is also available for them. So let's use the for loop actually. So with first saying what we'll loop over, and that's going to be the question mark. So with first saying what we will loop over, so that's going to be the question map. So each item of question will be like before containing both the key and value. So here I can now directly restructure it into two separate variables, and that is really a good use case of restructuring. So all right, just to reiterate, that is exactly the same as we did when we looped over the object. The only difference is that for the object we needed object dot entries right here, and that's just because the object is not an alterable. But then when we convert it to the alterable using object dot entries, and so then this part here is going to be exactly the same. And to print an element, so essentially we only want to print an element with the key is a number. So let's just use what we know already. Okay, so here let's say here if type of key equals to number, then console.log it to answer key. So does the value. Here we have to use the backtags. Forgot to use that. So let's just save it. See, now here we got the answer from the input. So here we are getting, so 1 2 3 options here getting answer C, JavaScript and JavaScript. Now from here let's just say we are writing the code for the quiz app. Okay, here let me just write the question. So we'll just say console.log, and here we'll say question.get of question. As you can see here, now we got here. So what is the best programming language in the world? So we are getting declared the question, right? So this statement we are just declaring here outside. Okay, and as we have already logged the question, now to get the answer from the user, let's use the prompt here. So let me just write it down here. Constant answer equals to number of, so we want our in user input value to be in the number, right? So for that here I'm using the number. So here I'll use the prompt. So as we log this, let's just go ahead and say that console.log answer as well, so that we can see our output. See here 2, C2, and we just reload 1. Okay, that's how we just do it. Now you can use the power of the boolean keys here in order to print the success message here, or the error message basically. So do you think you can do that on your own? Just take a minute and try that out. Okay, let's coming back to now, we'll start by comparing the answer with the correct answer basically. So let me write the code here. So console.log question.get of question.get of correct equals to answer. So after writing this, let's just enter here that 3. So the 3 is correct because in our question here itself we just declared. So if it is 3, it should be written correct, right? So here the value is 3. So this value 3 is comparing to this answer here 3. So then we are getting correct. When we just try to give other than 3 any value here, so it says try again later. Okay, this is a question dot get correct, and then we have compared that to the answer. In this case this was also 3, since I just explained. So since this is true, we can directly plug that into the map. So this is true will be written here correct. So that's similar to what we did in the previous video. And so again we are going to using the power of a boolean value as keys, and then we log the final message to the console. So the 3 is here and the answer is 3. So this is true, right, this statement. So what we get a true from the map, so we get this string as well, right, correct. So we just got that. Okay, if something else is for example if we say 5, so here it is getting the false, right, so it is also true, it is getting executed. With that we finish the little nice quiz. Now just to finish here, a side note, sometimes we need to convert a map back to an array. So let's just basically do that here by saying here map to array. So we'll do that here by console.log by using the ternary operator question. As you can see, it was converted back to array. So let's just go ahead and turn this off here. We don't need always the prompt to show it. So in order to not get the bug for us, so let's just declare here constant answer equals to, we are setting this value to 3. So okay, here the 3 is correct. Okay, so there are also methods that we had on arrays, which are entries, keys, values. They give us weird iterations. We have to spread them and put it in new array. So let me just show you that here. Console.log. Using the spread operator here, we'll use quotient dot entries. So this is going to be the same as this question, so I'm not going to log this. You can try that out if you want. So let me just show you similarly the console.log question dot values. Now the values we are getting. So what is best programming language in the world? C, Java, JavaScript, and so it declares here. And also keys. So these are the all the keys, all the values in it. All right, that's all I have to show you about maps for now. But now you might be wondering where should I use maps and where should I use objects, because they are pretty similar, right? Well, that's what the next lecture is all about. There I can help you to choose between all the data structures including arrays and sets. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you.